Good evening. We're going to do a different thing tonight. Ready, guys? He used to drink a lot. Now he talks a lot. He'll keep you on your toes. It's the Eric Miranda show.
It's 8, honey.
We're on.
Woo!
That was the
We're
opening.
live.
Wait, should I make
was
all the
it.
faces and stuff? Was that like the weirdest cold open ever? What's going on, everybody? Ah! I kind of feel like I have to scream now and compensate. What's going on? So Ian was in
All right,
Vietnam. You were here last week, but you went to Vietnam. Then you went to Long Island. That's dangerous.
Yes, and I did the show from Long Island last week. I haven't been home live till today, and now I'm sick. But here
Now
I
you're
am.
home. Sick. All right,
Hello,
cool,
everybody.
cool.
I'm home.
Do you think guys?
Yeah.
Do you think I need to like actually start the Eric Miranda show, like theme? Let's do it. Ready?
I think the theme's important.
I think the theme's important. You didn't like my rendition? I'm sad. Okay,
It was
guys,
good.
we're gonna do the Eric Miranda show. You ready? Here we go. He used to drink a lot. Now he talks a lot. He'll keep you on your toes. It's the Eric Miranda show. When he drank a lot, he would fight a lot. He might punch you in your nose. It's the Eric Miranda show. There are people who would tell you he is crazy, but if you listen closely, he's unbelievable. He used to drink a lot, now he talks a lot. He'll keep you on your toes. It's the Eric Miranda show. We're back. Yeah, that was cool. Thank you, Chris. Hey, hello, Wendy. Wendy, what went wrong? Chris Flugmacher said that was great. I appreciate it. You know, Chris, but then I'm thinking, are people going to know the show started without the theme? And then I realized I'm the dummy who's not going to realize the show starts without
I didn't realize.
Actually, but I didn't call you dumb.
That's
So,
true.
guys, by the way, when I was watching the video just now, I one day we're actually going to talk at length about that video because Sheila helped me shoot it. It started at her mom's table in Wisconsin, and then I had my leg injury. But the funniest thing I think was when I stuck, I have the chatter teeth, but the second time I put small chatter teeth under my tongue, and you have no idea. It's kind of like being waterboarded.
Really?
Chatter teeth, waterboard.
Well, I don't know if
Really?
it's really like being waterboarded, but what I am going to say is that you have teeth in your mouth chattering in between your teeth. That's kind of like waterboarding, right?
I don't
So
think
you're
so.
comparing yourself to like John McCain in Vietnam.
No, he didn't get waterboarded. There's no water in Vietnam. What are you talking about?
It rains every day.
It rained. No, anyways, well, you would know. Wait, were you in? Which part of Vietnam do you go to?
I was in South Vietnam, Saigon.
Oh, so you weren't
Ho Chi
in
Minh
like?
City.
Were you in the Night Belongs to Charlie part? Okay.
I was in the
Not in
jungle.
that, are we not of the generation that when someone says Saigon, you have to do Saigon, Saigon?
What
I just go
generation?
Saigon.
What generation is that?
You don't remember that song?
No.
I,
No, I don't know it either. I do Saigon like I'm in Apocalypse Now. Saigon.
Well, listen. All right, let me just see this ring, guys. Oh, how do I get this ring in focus? So this is a spoon. What's going on from the Sunshine State, Ray Blum? I'm in the Sunshine State right now. It's like 61 degrees and overcast. What kind of Sunshine State is that? Neil, what's happening? Yeah, yes, I've been chattering since. This is true. It's funny. I was doing a show. I was doing an auction online, and I said, "Oh my God, I just ran out of things to talk about." And then I talked for 5 minutes about not having anything to talk about and how it's never happened before. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool recovery. Hello, Lori. Hello. You remember those rings? Yeah, these are cool, right? The spoon rings, right?
It's a
This
spoon
one's
ring?
it's a spoon. It's actually I'm trying to get it in focus because I have this really cool shallow depth of field. Wait. Nope. Here we go.
No.
Can you see it? How's that?
No. Can't
So
really tell it's a spoon. It looks cool though.
that's a spoon, right? Now you may be asking. Now I know some people did notice my big fern ring, the glass one I used to wear on the show because I often sit here nervously like this. But what kind of a bracket, Lori?
A bracket. I think she means bracelet, Eric.
Oh, bracelet. Okay, good catching. She had I remember the bracelet spoons also. I was like, bracket. I was like, am I missing something? So anyway, but my missing ring, I was at my son's school. He was doing a project and he has this cute friend. Her name is Mia. And she's the sweetest kid in the world. She has a twin sister who's nasty, meanie, Zoe. Right? No, she's sweet too, but she's not as friendly. This girl always compliments our clothing. She'll walk up to Sheila and say, that dress, that color of that dress is really perfect for your skin. Like she's like that, right? She's really, so she sees my ring and she said, I really like your ring. And I said, well, if it fits you, I'll give it to you. And she stuck her finger out and it was this big on her finger. And she said, it fits. And I said, okay, then you can have it.
We couldn't see your finger when you said this big.
It was like literally like.
Did you give it to her?
I did. And
That's sweet.
I've been online trying to replace it since, but it was just so cute because I figured she could wear it for a necklace. I figured she's not going to want it. I said, if it fits, and she just looked me dead in the eye and said, it fits.
That's very cute and very sweet.
This kid was so funny.
You talk about my ring.
Tell us about your broken. Tell us about your broken pinky.
Well, it's not a great story, but the last 3 times I've gone on vacation with my family, my kids now are 14 and 16, so this has been going on for a couple of years. I have gotten injured, like fairly badly. Last year we were in Austin and at a swimming hole, and I jumped into about 18 inches of water and tore ligaments in my toe. Then this summer we were in Mexico and I took a wave and basically broke my neck. I didn't break my neck, but my arm is still like numb and weird.
Wait. I didn't break my neck, but my arm is still weird. Okay.
My arm is still, but I still have no feeling in my fingers 5 months later. And then this trip, I got back from Asia and didn't sleep for 40 hours. And me and my 14-year-old were like squaring off. I threw a punch and I hit him in the elbow and broke my pinky. So I've ruined now 3 vacations for my family. I'm just a miserable.
So did you have to go get that done while you were on vacation on Long Island?
Well, it's not anything done. It's just they can't really do anything for a broken pinky. I bought this in CVS for $9, and I ordered a version on Amazon for like $3.
I was going to say, did you go to Nassau Medical Center?
Where on Long Island, you only have to go to the ER if you break your middle finger.
What? Nobody breaks their middle finger on Long Island.
Yeah. By the way, Marcus said to me, hey, can I ask you guys a question? How come I can't see? Oh, actually, okay, cool. Marcus said to Francis Dunnery, who was on last week, he said, Francis, how many people from Long Island does it take to screw in a light bulb? And Francis said, I don't know, Marcus, how many? He said, A, what do you want? I thought that was a brilliant joke.
His brilliant joke that he didn't realize was a joke was when he was very little. And I said something about, we have to go to Long Island this weekend. And he started crying. And I said, I don't understand why you're crying. He said, I don't have my passport.
Right, but I think
I don't even know where he got that from.
No, I know
he had to go with a passport to go to Long Island.
Because you said the day before, you said, when I go to Long Island, I feel like I'm in a foreign country. So nobody breaks. Yeah, Joe Welsh just said nobody breaks New York. The middle finger, right? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. I actually, you know what? The one time that George Bush was funny, I don't like that guy.
Which one?
George, the second one, the W.
Okay.
He was very funny. He was speaking in Canada. Was F.W. de Klerk the Prime Minister of Canada at the time? I don't remember.
No, isn't he like
that's
South Africa?
That's South Africa. Sorry, who was the guy?
Not even close.
I'm not even close. No, but it was because they're all
the Trudeau, the previous Trudeau.
No. It was when you say I'm far off, I'm not even close. I'm not even close geographically, but bloodline. That's what I meant. And pyramids and Illuminati, I'm right on target. Thank you.
Oh, you're right there.
I mean, let's just get right down to what was that?
I mean, if we're doing Canadian prime ministers category, I'm sorry, I'm taking potpourri. I don't know. I'm not
going to every time.
Potpourri was the prime minister of the bathroom. So what? Um, so what is
That
all
was
right?
good.
So no, but so whatever it was, he was visiting Canada, and he got on stage. He said, "I want to thank everybody for the welcome when I was coming through with my motorcade." He said, "Appreciate all the people who waved, especially the people who waved with all 5 fingers."
That's funny.
That was good. It was funny.
Hey, do you remember when he got the shoes thrown at
Yes,
him?
yes.
I
And
was
then,
watching that video the other day for some reason. Like his agility was pretty shocking.
well, he's an athlete. That guy was
That's an
running.
odd video to watch.
Well,
I don't know why it came up, but
yeah. Why were you watching that?
it came up on TikTok for something. I don't know.
Well, no, he was. I mean, he was running 3 7-minute miles every morning. The whole presidency. I mean, he's definitely an athlete. But it's funny how you can rely on that guy to duck a shoe, but you can't get him to say a 4-syllable word. No, but it was. That's funny about the passport, right? That was Marcus is funny. He said something the other day. He's funny pretty often, but all right. So yeah. But what about, didn't Rahm Emanuel get a shoe thrown at him? See, the liberal press, they don't show you that people hate Rahm
They
Emanuel
don't
as
show
much
you
as
the-
George Bush. What was
I
that?
don't remember that. But
You know,
a lot of- there was a few minutes when people were getting shoes thrown at him a lot.
Well, now they're throwing shoes and things at celebrities. Like, didn't somebody throw something at Taylor Swift and she's like all traumatized?
Oh, that's a whole thing where Harry Styles was getting
They
nailed by
threw their
something
phones.
every
Yeah,
show.
someone
Yeah.
got hit with a phone recently.
Oh
Well,
no, that was who was that? And she threw something back.
Really?
She
It
had
was a
trouble
woman got hit with a
Oh, that
phone.
was one of the country, Miranda Lambert, was it?
No,
No.
I don't remember who it was.
It was somebody. But
Come
anyway,
on, somebody's got to notice.
but let me tell you what happened to me. This was the weirdest thing. We were playing.
BB Rexa. BB Rexa got hit with a
Yes.
phone.
Yeah.
Yep. We were playing. I was playing with the Plums. I don't remember which iteration of the Plums it was, but we're somewhere in Pennsylvania, and I was turning around to tweak my amp, and all of a sudden, like the whole room, some moron from the back of the bar, like 200 people back, or 200. I don't know the width time, but however many rows that it takes to be 200, he throws a closed beer bottle, and he hits me in the head, and I just remember like what. And it was closed. I was like, what the, if it was open, I would have been like, you know what? The guy didn't like his beer. It was terrible. And I kind of was scared a little bit for like the first half of the show. Like somebody else going to nail me with a bottle. I don't know.
I've seen
Maybe
you
your
get chased
drummer.
off the stage before.
Well, you saw me. Yeah, you did. But my favorite story, I hope Dan Volcom, are you out there? Danny, say hello to us. The best was, did I ever tell the story about when Danny beat me up on stage?
Not on the show.
Oh, so great. So I had a cold and I was freaking out because we had a show. I think we were in Binghamton, and we were like, Danny would make these hammocks in one of his dad's like box trucks. So we'd throw the gear in, he'd strap everything to the wall, and then he would make hammocks with the packing blankets. He's got to show me that trick. It was amazing. So packing blankets and the straps, he would make hammocks. They were like comfortable, and we could sleep in them. So I had a cold because it was winter. We went up, we're in the hammocks. We go up to freaking Binghamton. And I was like, Daddy, and I always just, I can't really my voice. I feel like a froggy. And I said, I'm going to go for a run, and then I'm going to take the honey bear. So I run 5 miles before the show, not thinking anything of it. Take a shower, immediately put my guitar on, jump on the stage. And my legs were kind of rubbery because I hadn't been running. And Danny used to do this thing where we would sing parts. So I'd have an extra microphone over the hi-hat. I jump up to do our thing, kind of like Roger Taylor and Adam Lambert do. And my legs came out from under me. And Dan is so pissed off all the time. I collapse and fall into his hi-hat. He thinks he's under attack. And as I'm falling onto the drum set, he starts going, boom, boom, boom. And I'm rolling around trying to get away from him. He's kicking the shit. It's like, dude, I'm not your enemy. It was like the craziest thing. Dan, are you on? I need you to just
I don't think he's on.
I need a thumbs up from Dan Volcom, because that was crazy. And it was like, you remember when Roger Clemens had that thing with Mike Piazza? like that
Yeah, when
rivalry.
the bat broke and they threw the bat back.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Like Clemens was so certain that this guy was out to get him that he flipped, right? And I was like, wait a minute. I don't have a rivalry with Dan. He's my drummer. And he did the same thing. He's like, I fell on him and he was like, attack, attack. Somebody's out to get me. You maniac.
Well, if he's not out there, I was in a band with him and he was exactly the same.
Luigi Quinones. Hey, Louis, I'm playing paddleball with Robert Sostry tomorrow here in Spring Hill. That's kind of fun, right? How you doing, man? How was your Thanksgiving? All right, anybody else gotten beaten up on stage? I know there are musicians watching right now. Anybody who's ever been beaten up, John Breen. Hey, John, have you ever been beaten up on stage?
I've been threatened on stage, but I've not been beaten. I've been with you when you were chased off and I got chased off. But
well, you know, John Breen may have been at that show. John Breen.
Look, we have a chat bot.
Who's that? Hello.
It's a chat bot wanting to promote our show. Hi, chat
this
bot.
is fantastic.
But it's for Twitch.
We're really hitting the big time.
We are hitting the big time. So what is the
We hit the bots.
The bots. We hit the big time. You had a few fights. Wow.
Tell the story when you were in Plug Bunnies and you got chased off the stage. I think I had a punch balloon behind you.
Ian used to come on stage with us, and it was, I don't remember, we discussed it, and then my cousin Mike,
like a little performance art.
My cousin Michael originally was going to come on stage and paint, and I told Ian about it, and he didn't want to do it. He decided not to do it, and Ian's like, well, I can do something. I was like, you want to paint? He's like, I'll think of something. And I think the first time he just got on stage and started shaving. He had a little thing of water and shaved.
I never told you what I was going to do.
I never told. And then this became a thing where he would just be on our stage doing something. And we were at the right track in. And this was like the dumbest thing. You talk about manufactured anger. Rob Johnson, Flugmacher, Slow Children at Play. Is that a band? Or are we the Slow Children? So, all right, so check it out. So we're in. Yeah. So Ian would get up and he'd do performance art on the stage. Rob Johnson, the bass player of the band, he decided that we were mad because the name of our band was Plug Bunnies Incorporated, and people would call us the Plug Bunnies. I didn't find that offensive. I was like, they're talking about us. Who cares? So we're the Plug Bunnies. We're Plug Bunnies Incorporated. He's mad. So he decides to write this rap song on Friday the 13th at the Right Track Inn on Long Island that we were mad at the club owners. So we made up this thing. We just started making fun of the owners for getting the name wrong because they kept putting it in the paper wrong when they did the advert. So we started basically fighting with the bar, and all of these bikers were in the bar and they were friends with the bar owners. So they're getting mad. The bartenders are getting mad, and it was for nothing, right? So every time we played a song, we were getting pushed back and like, fuck you. And literally, we have a recording. I still have this recording, and I will get a soundbite of it for this audience. We had it on a box in the corner. You hear the sound of the band getting lower as somebody walks toward the box, and he corners it, and he just goes, hey, you guys suck. It was like, and I have that recording. It's amazing, but it's getting more and more hostile. And as it's getting more and more hostile, it's getting tense. And then I stopped in the middle of a song. I said, or between songs, I said, hey, these guys were getting rowdy. I said, hey, I want to apologize for the one asshole in the audience. And the bartender says, hey, you're asking for a lot of shit. I said, oh, my bad. Make that two assholes. Then it started getting crazy. Then we did a rap version of My Generation by The Who. And this biker goes,
drove everyone crazy.
They're fucking with The Who.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking to myself, you were probably calling The Who a bunch of British sissies when they started 28 years ago. And it was madness. And this guy literally attacked me on stage. And you hear on this recording, you hear, you motherfucker. And I'm like, hey, fuck. And you hear me hit him with my guitar. And it just goes, and you hear the feedback. My two brothers jumped between me and these bikers. Jerry Murray, who's giant, drags me about. He puts me in his Mustang, and we fly down Merrick Road, and they were chasing us on motorcycles, and I hid in a diner. It was absolute mayhem. And then it was written up in the Good Times
Yeah, the
magazine. So it was so
Good times,
nuts.
yeah.
It was so.
So
Joe
I'm on
Higgins.
stage watching this. I don't know if you
I
remember what
asked,
I was doing that night. I was just sitting back there with a punch balloon, and I'm just punching a balloon.
wait.
Eric's running off stage, and now I'm hiding in the bathroom because I'm going to get beat up. The guy with a punch balloon. I'm like,
Had
Dude.
you been
I'm not part of the
at a
band.
shoe store? Where did you get a punch balloon?
Yeah, Joe Higgins. I asked
It
someone
was
to
just
throw
the
me a
balloon
beer
that you
once.
punch back and forth.
I go, you
I
see
don't
Joe
remember.
Higgins? Hey, Ian, do you remember Joe Higgins? He was
I
the
don't remember Joe
engineer
Higgins.
at Krusty's studio, keyboard player.
Oh, I remember
I
Joe
asked someone
Higgins.
to throw me a beer once at a college gig, took one right in the eye socket and drank it. Good. At least you drank it. See, I wasn't even drinking back then, Joe. Like the Blues Brothers. Ah. Hi, Louise.
Yeah, I got threatened a lot. No one ever threw anything at me. I got
I
threatened a lot on
I got hit
stage.
with the one beer bottle, but the one with the bikers was actually scary because my two brothers they're big dudes and they're tough, but they couldn't have stopped. This was like an army of bikers who were mad. But the fact that he snapped when we did a rap version of My Generation is the funniest thing. To see bikers sticking up for the Who, and this was before Peter Townsend kind of started coming out a little bit. I wonder what they would do now. You know,
It's funny is I remember like it was yesterday. Guy going, they're fucking with the Who.
I have the recording. You got to hear it, and then to hear my guitar. So wait, so okay, so Slow Children at Play, was that what Chris Flugmacher was referring to? I don't know, but that place, yeah. You know what, Joe? The thing was weird about the Right Track In is I started playing there when I was like 16. So in my mind, to this day, when I go into a bar, you guys, this is actually something I've never told anyone out loud. Because I started playing in bars when I was 15 with Rob Johnson, we used to play at Butterfield's. You cannot make this shit up. So my first gigs were at Butterfield's on Hempstead Turnpike in Hempstead and Fezziwig's, which was a few stores down from it. Then it was the Half Crown Pub, which you all know right there in East Rockaway. And I was always lying and using fake ID to get in. So I was always nervous. To this day, I walk into a bar and I don't drink, but I walk into a bar and I actually feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like in my mind, somebody's going to find out I have fake ID, even though I'm older than all three of the doormen put together. Such a weird thing. All right. So Sheila, have you ever been? Yeah. Right.
On stage?
Right. By the way, Luke Canona said Robert Sastry, good luck. So guys, Robert Sastry is possibly the best single wall paddleball player in the country right now. And every time I go into a tournament, I have to play him first. Like anytime I've played a singles tournament, it's been him or this guy, Paul Angel, who are like amazing. And people are impressed that I actually score 1 or 2 points. But so he's actually here in Spring Hill, Florida, I think tomorrow. I just shot a message on Facebook to his wife. So that'll be cool to play him in Florida. Maybe I'll beat him in Florida because of some synapse and I don't know. Great Danny story. I think he kicked over your amp once on stage, and this event started the trend of pointing amps face up to control stage volume. Yeah.
We could do a show on Danny stories.
We could do a show. We're going to do a show on Dan Volkmer, but he won't come on. But
we need Dan Volker on, but he'll deny everything.
So I want to ask you all a question. Yeah, Sheila just mentioned that, Lou Jack, that someone threw a shoe at George Bush. However, I was saying the leftist media didn't show when they did it for Rahm Emanuel. I think it was Israel. Hello, Cora. How are you? I think it was Israel. I think Rahm Emanuel was in Israel being the American Jewish guy. And they're like, we don't like you. And they threw a shoe at him. That's the most political I'll ever get on my show. Yeah, somebody can, look that up right now. What I want to talk about, what's up, Jay? How's it going? What I want to,
wow.
Jay Amiel, dude, I got friends, man. I keep close to my Island Park peeps. They're important people to me. So I have a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that these father and son were being sued because they use bleach to brand cattle now instead of burning them. Tony Sack, what's up? What's up, Tony? By the way, Tony came on The Hero a couple of weeks ago, and he will be on. And when Tony Sack is on next time, It's going to be a one-on-one interview. Sorry, guys.
Rahm Emanuel, I can't find anything about anything throwing a shoe at him. I think you're
I'm
making this
telling
up.
you, it's because they're covering for him because he's an Obama guy,
Right.
and they don't want you to know that everybody hates him. Hang on. I want to do it on my phone. Someone threw a shoe at Rahm Emanuel.
I'm sure his wife threw a shoe at him at some point.
Why is it?
Sheila, have you ever thrown a shoe at Eric?
I have not.
Man,
There's still time.
George Bush. Nobody mentions Rahm Emanuel because George Bush takes the shoe cake. So
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of weeks ago, so now a lot of people use bleach to brand cattle instead of. So I mentioned to you guys this father and son. They were sued and arrested, I think, for bleaching penises into their rival cattle ranchers' cattle, and they dropped the charges. And I was thinking of making some kind of joke like the case went limp or something like that, but I just couldn't do it. So
all right. When you first said it, I thought they bleached the cattle's penis.
No,
Then I realized they were cows. So I was like, all right, they don't have penises. Then I got the joke.
Right, exactly right. So but think about
Took me
that.
a minute.
But think about bleaching a penis to be. I mean, that is like that. I mean, that's like lighting poop on fire on someone's stoop and ringing the doorbell.
I think you might have bleached the penis onto my butt when I was in like 8th grade.
That's terrible. So all right,
you would have held me down and done it.
All right, what else?
By the way, so I just looked up shoe throwing incidents, and Wikipedia has 2 entries, and it goes from the first entry of notable shoe throwing incidents is the year 359 when
Constantius
II
got it.
had a shoe thrown at him. So it goes from 359 to 2008 when George W. Bush had a shoe thrown.
And no Rahm Emanuel?
No. But then after that, there's a whole series of other shoe throwing incidents. So it's like that, like either they're just not being reported on, or that opened the floodgates. Someone,
Are you on Wikipedia? Because I see Wikipedia has shoe throwing incidents.
There are 2 entries. I'm on one of the 2.
315 2008. That's pretty good.
Now, all right, guys, can we talk about the Octomom? I saw an article today where the Octomom, she's kind of back. You guys remember Octomom?
I don't.
Yeah, she was kind of hot.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Everybody made a big deal about fertility, and she had 6 kids. Then she had another 8 in one shot, and she became like a villain in a way. And I was like, if having 8 children at once is a crime, she's innocent because she's hot, and she's I think she's Iranian, which is kind of like double hot. I don't know. There was something cool about her slinging kids around. But anyway, so let's get.
I can't tell what Octomom, what country that name is from.
Octomom.
Octomom.
Octomom. That would actually be Roman. So anyway, I want to know. Okay, we have John Breen. What other musicians are on listening right now? I want some people to tell me some stage stories because I'm really like right now. I am. Okay. Oh my God. Fake ID. All right. We would actually quiz each other because the bouncers would always try to trip us up. Well, yeah. Do people still do that, Lori? Do people still do fake ID? I think kids now.
They get good ones from China.
I don't think the kids go to bars. I think they just smoke pot.
Really? But how do they buy their vape? And they're like vape, right? They buy vape because by the time
kids. I was talking to a young college kid the other day. Who's got a fake ID, but he got it like from Asia, but it's like a true knockoff of a New York license.
I
forgot how much it cost. It was like $50, but it was a good fake ID.
And then it's weird. I got in trouble for messing with my friend's name wrong. Should have quizzed before. Yeah, it's but I don't know. I mean, and then they're better than ever. I don't remember what I used to do.
He's talking about Speaks.
Speaks is better than ever. Of course they do. Wait, so Cora, do they drink in? By the way, Cora, can I tell the story about how you and I met? This is a really interesting story. Down south, there are a lot of places to I mean, I guess New York. Maybe it's New York that's just not cool. We're not like our kids aren't cool enough to go get a fake ID. You know what I mean? But anyway, so Cora, who was just on, Cora and I met. I was living a couple of days a week. I was doing production work for my friend's medical device company. I was doing podcast and video, and I was in a gym in the apartment that he rented for me to be in Lancaster, PA. And Cora is in the gym working out, and we talked for 3 seconds. We're from Long Island, and then it turns out she's Ms. Riganti's daughter. Oh my God. She's one of our greatest school teachers ever. And then what was even stranger is her husband, I think, is from the Bronx. And we both somehow knew Dave Garibaldi, the drummer of Tower of Power. And we had 20 connections. And then when I friended her, I was like, oh, we also know 6,000 of the same people. So I don't know whether it was bizarre that we met and didn't know each other before that, or just that we met, in it. But it was cool. Hey, Cora, do you still have a place in Lancaster? I need to get back to Lancaster. I mean, for a day, not to live. Anyway, so all right, so stage incidents. Freddie Mercury, Ian Anderson once got hit with a rose. Somebody threw a rose to Ian Anderson and it ripped the cornea of his eye.
Wow.
And what else? Anything else? What other stage incidents?
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you on stage? Like,
well, I think when I got hit with the bottle, but the show hadn't even started yet. The
I got
scariest.
hit once. So when I played with Cronin, if you guys, anyone knows Mike Cronin, he's just this monster of a man, and he would fly around the stage like a freaking ballerina. And he's 300 pounds close. He does a spin with his bass and hit me right in the face.
Ugh.
And almost knocked me out. Like I was on the ground. I was probably out for a second.
Wait, I'm just giving a thumbs up. Hang on. Yes, awesome. And I'm glad you still have a place because I love it there. And I'm going to be down there to have a tomahawk steak. But Ian, yeah. So getting hit with no, I don't think I've had that. I mean, I guess getting beaten up by my drummer, maybe, who I thought was I mean, at least Mike didn't do it on purpose, right? You think maybe he did?
No, he just was flying around. And
my favorite
John Breen's got a good one.
One night we picked up a hitchhiker on the way to the right track in, and he stormed the stage with harmonica. A friend of ours tackled him on stage. That's pretty cool. Has anybody seen the one with Keith Richards when the guy jumps on stage?
Yeah, Keith hits him with a guitar.
Keith hits him. The thing that's great about Keith hitting him with the guitar is, and you should all look this up while you're on the show right now, is Keith Richards. I think they were singing Get Off My Cloud. I think Mick was wrapped in an American or British flag. This guy jumps up, and before the security gets to him, it was amazing. Keith Richards turns his guitar down, takes it off, smashes it over the guy's head. The security guard just dragged the guy off. He puts it back on and adjusts his volume perfectly. And he acted like, you've been playing a long time when you take your guitar off, turn the volume down first, beat a guy up with it, put it back on, adjust the volume, and keep playing. Like he was completely unfazed. That was
he's Keith Richards.
He's Keith, right? Keith. What I'm trying to think of other famous stories. My stories, I think getting beaten up by Dan and the right track in story they were probably the best. I mean, I told you all the story. What was that?
The sneezing story.
I think I told the sneezing story on one of the shows, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did.
I don't know the sneezing story.
Oh, I thought I told it on the air. So Brian, your brother Brian, Brian and Rob Johnson and I were in the plug. See, I'm going to get beaten up by Rob Johnson.
Plug Bunnies Incorporated.
Plug Bunnies. We were in Plug Bunnies Incorporated. We were playing the Lismar Lounge in the basement. There was a stage room and a basement room. We were in the basement, and that was the hip room for the punks, but it didn't have a stage. So we're all at you're looking the audience in the eye. It was almost like being at a party. And I told Rob and Brian, I said, I don't know if I could play tonight. I have a cold. And I was like really sick. I decided to do the show. I had this green sweater on, and we were doing the song "I Think I Love You" by Plug Bunnies Incorporated. And I went, "I think I love you," and I went, "Ha, ha, oh," and I sneezed, and I shot a big blanket of a web of a booger. Louise is going to kill me because she doesn't want to hear this kind of stuff. It connected to the headstock of my guitar, the microphone, and maybe like a cable somewhere. It was just like a blanket. It looked like a bat landed. It was just like this big web of like reptilian goo. And I thought I could get away with it. Instead of just like stopping and getting a tissue or something, I kept playing and I went, and it just went, no. And there were like multicolored lights along the ceiling. So it was like all this rainbow. And I went again. And it was like, and it just, and finally I just went, what? And it was like, this was in front of like, I don't know, 50, 60 crazy punk people. Who's looking for the link to the show? Who is this? I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who it is. Just send them a link.
We're gonna
fans.
Oh no, we don't need fans. We have plenty of people watching. Oh my goodness,
you got surprise guests going on live.
We have a surprise guest. Hang on.
Yeah, Joe, I did the Grains of Sand song.
All right, hang on. Here we go. You guys ready?
No, yeah. I'm not.
We have a surprise guest. Here he comes. I don't normally do this, but we got to do it.
Normally give us a surprise guest?
Well, no, I don't mind giving you a surprise guest, but this is, I wonder if this person got, there he is. Marcus.
What's up, man?
What's up? Sorry I'm late. I was
cooking dinner. Sorry I'm late. Sorry.
You were cooking dinner?
I was eating dinner.
Oh.
Marcus, what is the craziest thing that ever happened to you on stage? Have you been on stage? Oh, you were, this is Marcus, everyone. This is my son. Marcus, we can't see you. Can you get closer to the camera? There you go. Have you were on stage for a couple of school concerts, right?
Yeah, I signed up for a few.
Yeah. And did anything weird happen?
Well, one time I fell off the back of the stage.
Did you?
Yeah, no one noticed though, because there was a kid who was next to me and kept going in front of me, so no one saw me leave. And I just, because I'm on the back row, because I'm one of the tallest, and I fell off and I had to climb back on. No one saw it because on camera, because the kid was in front of me for a second.
Wait, Marcus, you're one of the tallest. Are you sure you're my kid?
You're just short. You're short.
I'm short. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a story about your sister. So this is actually a really funny thing. My daughter had laryngitis. She's a very good singer. And what was it? 3 of her friends, Sheila, who wanted to be in the school concert?
It was the talent show.
The talent show. 3 of the kids wanted to be in the talent show, and they needed my daughter to do it. But then she got sick and she blew the audition. And the teacher knew she was sick, so they gave her a second chance. She got the audition. She and her friends got the spot in the talent show. And this girl who doesn't know how to sing walks to the center of and my daughter's like kind of sweet. Back then, anyway, super shy.
And she'd already done like solos.
Yeah, she'd already done solos for the school concert. She was known as the school singer. Like she was the girl with the voice. And this girl, Haley, who was like 6 feet tall in 5th grade, she walks to the center of the stage and gets to the middle microphone. And my daughter just looked at her and yanked the microphone out of her hand, like, move on. And it was actually really funny because this girl tried to grab her glory and she was not having it. I was proud. All right, so Marcus, you fell off the stage. Marcus also had laryngitis for one of the shows and he had to lip sync.
I didn't actually lip sync. It hurt a lot, but I was able to sing. But then I lost my voice for the rest of the day after the concert.
Yep. And then I remember
it was a little bit hard because the teacher was calling at me and I wasn't really, nothing was coming out when I was talking.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. And then I said, you have that tape somewhere?
I completely fall off the stage. I just walked backward a little bit and my right foot fell off the stage and I had to pull myself back up for like, it only happened like a split second. It was pretty quick.
All right, but let me ask you a question. So I said to Marcus, you don't even know how to lip sync because I didn't think he did a good job lip syncing. He said, I'm great at lip syncing, and he started lip sync rapping. Remember that, Marcus?
Oh, yeah.
Let me hear you lip sync rap.
No.
Why not?
Because.
All right, but listen, we're going to get back to this show here, all right?
I could actually rap, but.
What was that? Okay, what are you going to rap for us?
You know what? Maybe another time. I don't feel it.
You want to practice? You want to practice first?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. All right, Marcus, we're gonna get back to some other things. All right, so other people, Marcus, Lori said hello to
So
you.
I got to interrupt 1 second
Okay.
on a big
Yeah,
rewind
what
a
did you
little
send
bit.
me? What did you
I
send
just
me?
got a text. So look at that. I just got a text in
Uh-huh.
rap music.
Yeah.
Throwing shoes is a sign of respect.
What?
I just sent it to you. There's just
Twitter?
click on that.
Is it a Twitter thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so Twitter, formerly known as X. Okay. In hip hop world, throwing shoes is a sign of respect. It means you did a really good job.
What?
I guess maybe if they're throwing you like original Nike Air and you can sell them.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
I don't know, man. Getting hit with a shoe does not seem like a sign of respect to me. But it really is weird. Now I'm going to tell you something else. I mean, I think some of the people who've worked with me know this. When I play guitar on stage or drums, I'm never nervous. I don't give a crap. When I have to sing, I can't stand it. Because if you play the drums or play guitar, you're either playing well or you're not. Adidas, you have to throw Adidas, Tony Sack. My Adidas and me. It's a different world. In a different world. It's a different. I'm confused, but yeah, I get it. I don't want anybody throwing shoes at me, but I just want to tell y'all when I have to sing, I hate it and I get really grumpy. And sometimes I get grumpy before the show. Why is that, Sheila, wife?
It's nerves.
But what am I nervous
Do you
about?
have a pre-show superstition?
What was that?
Did you when you were performing a lot, or even still, do you have a pre-show superstition? Like, if I have to pee before a show, I won't pee. I don't know why.
Really?
I spent half my life on stage having to pee, but I think it makes me a better performer.
How did we get from
I
stage?
think I think one of my early shows I ever played, I had to pee and I didn't have time, and I went on stage and had a great show, so it became a thing. I'm not peeing before the show.
My superstition was don't snort cocaine before you do a show because you can't play when you're on coke. How's that? Is that a good superstition?
I don't think that's a superstition.
No, it was. I'm glad Marcus was disconnected for that. But I don't have any. No, I don't have any pre-show superstitions. But I do. I get nervous when I have to sing. I don't like it, and I don't know. What I can tell you, one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me. You were kicked from the show, but I heard it was on. Why did you get kicked from the show? Click on again, Marcus. I had a situation. Hey, Denise, what's happening? I had a situation. This was one of the worst things that happened. Don't snort and go into a bank. Wait a minute. This is coming from a guy who told us a few weeks ago they robbed a bank. Wait, what? Don't snort.
I think that's good advice. I think that's a sage wisdom from experience, most likely.
I have very few people who can give me that sage wisdom, Tony. So one of the things that happened to me, I was playing in Killarney, Ireland. Again, this was one of my favorite shows. It was one of the biggest shows I've ever done. It was I was opening for the Counting Crows with Jesse Malin. And there was this song where he comes out and goes, "That's the way the story goes." And then the whole band comes in. And I was literally gaping because the scene, it was a half open stadium. Like it's 3/4 closed and there's this opening and it just goes to these rolling hills in Killarney, Ireland. And I was like kind of drooling almost at the beauty. And I forgot to turn my amp standby off. And everybody came in and I went and nothing was happening. And I remember thinking, this is a really big show. And that was a really bad way to start the show off. So that was like one of the most disappointing moments of my stage career. And then how many singers out there who play guitar have gotten electrocuted because the mic isn't grounded? Anyone watching? Yeah, I've hit that. Now, were you touching something else or you just got electrocuted just from the mic?
Yeah, no, I shouldn't say electrocuted. I've gotten shocked in my lips. So I used to put the microphone in my mouth. I carried my own microphone. I ate it.
I once had
I couldn't sing.
What's the fuzzy thing called? The windscreen. I had a windscreen on and it was protecting me from this not grounded mic. And then after singing and like kind of spittle into the mic for 40 minutes, it's soaked. And then I touched it again and went, and I remember, and I was shocked and shocked at the same time because I protected myself from the shock. So when I was shocked, I was in shock.
Shock me.
Mike Bauer sent me a new Ace Frehley song from his new record today. And we both kind of talked about the
Sounded like
fact.
Ace Frehley. I heard it.
What was that?
It
I mean,
sounded like Ace Frehley. I heard it.
I think what was different about it is he was actually singing for once. How come Marcus
Mhm.
can't get on the show here?
I just let him back in. I think he's.
I don't know. So yeah, the Ace Frehley song, it sucks. You know what? I'm going to be honest. It sounds great if it was 50 years ago. I am so tired
Yeah.
of people from the 70s. It's like, do something new. Not lately. What was Wendy's comment? Jesse put a mic in his mouth deep there. Oh my God, you're getting
Yeah.
dude. Now I want to know. I hope Louise is watching right now because Louise.
I was never good at that.
When Louise, if Louise heard that we went from being on stage to having to pee before a show and not peeing, Ian gets back to the bathroom every time. It's amazing. It's actually a gift. It's a gift that we go to the bathroom. All right, there's Marcus again. I want my cute little guy on stage, but he's not. There he is.
Hi, I keep disconnecting from the show. Maybe it's my internet.
All right. Well, if you get
Maybe.
disconnected again, we're gonna have to because we can't keep managing it. But you are a handsome fella.
Okay.
Yep.
So so I've been shocked on stage. I got hit with a bottle. I've been attacked by my own drummer on stage. I've started a song to 33,000 people and didn't have my amp on. What else has happened? Oh, this is one of my favorite stage stories ever. I went out and got drunk with a guy from Connecticut named Roger Gagne, who I met on the ski slopes in Stowe, Vermont. And we went to a club when I was 15 years old, and I was so drunk, but Roger knew the guys in the band, and he convinced them to let me come up and play the drums. And they started My Best Friend's Girl by the Cars. And they're going dun 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 F F F F B flat 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 C, right? And I was such a genius that as they were starting, I went bam, bam, bam. I started playing just what I needed, and the guitar player literally turned around and said, "Get this guy off the fuck is that?" And I was just like, "Oh, what? That's how it goes. I know it goes 1, 2." And I literally was playing the wrong song. And I remember my dad picking me up out of the snow at like 3 a.m. behind the club. I just drank so much. We're doing whippets, and I passed out in the snow and probably would have died had my dad not come and found me. But that was a doozy. Now, that was when I was 15. Ray Blum. Is Ray Blum still on? I hope Ray Blum is still on. He will love this. Ray and Ron Blum and I, our first gig ever, we played at Rath Park in Franklin Square on a showmobile, and we're playing Do You Feel Like We Do by Peter Frampton. And there was a band there who the kid had Peter Criss's drum set, and they had stacks, and we had an Epiphone bass amp. You remember this, Ray? Epiphone bass amp. I forgot what Ron was playing on guitar. I had a bass drum with no covering, and I didn't have a tom-tom, so I had a snare drum and another snare drum, and I put the tom-tom mount through where the snare goes. So I had a snare drum and a tom-tom that was a snare drum, and it wasn't really mounted. And I went, do you, ba, 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 and I hit it, and it flipped, landed on the stage, and started rolling to the edge of the stage. Ray was wearing a full jacket with a hat. He turned his back to the stage as his brother Ron ran across the stage and stopped the drum before it rolled off. That was actually my first show ever, like rock band. So that was probably an omen for how my career would go. That snare drum is the reason Dan Volkamer beat me up on my own stage. in front
Yeah,
of
but
like
you know what? You've been rolling off the stage your whole life, but you haven't fallen. So good for
I
you.
haven't. Well, me. I mean, and then we have now. Dan and I had a bass player named Brett who passed away 2 years ago. Oh, not even 2 years, a year and a half ago. He was in a band called Napalm. They were signed to Energy Records, and they were huge in Europe. And he was like the sweetest guy in the world, but he had long hair, and he literally was doing this to 10,000 people. And you see him on stage in this video, sugar, 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 and he walked too close to the edge, and he just goes and just completely disappeared. And you hear the song continue without the bass player, and then about like literally 4 minutes later, toward the end of the song, he comes walking from the back of the stage. Like he had his bass and had to work his way through the crowd, get past security, get back on stage and plug back in. That was a great one. That was a good one.
That's fantastic. He was a good dude.
He was a great dude. Hey, Joe Higgins, are you there? Lori, Peter Frampton, first concert, Madison Square Garden, second row, $12. Wow, $12 ticket.
$12.
I did
Yep.
not see that tour, Lori, but I will tell you that I found, yeah, Wendy, that was like, but the way yep. So Joe Higgins and I, Joe was stoned. Joe, am I allowed to say you were stoned, or you like, is your wife watching? I don't know. But Joe Higgins and I were sitting at a board, and it was like Thanksgiving or Easter or something. And I made Joe work with me for like 70 hours straight. And Brett's finally like, dudes, I got to go. And he leaves. Yep, that's it. And we both looked at each other at the same time and went, Brett. It was like so weird. Synchronous. It was great. But we both said Brett. But no, Brett was a really, really awesome guy. But when he went up that stage in that video, world class. Joe Higgins may remember this. We had a guy from Moonroof Records who was going to give us a deal. And he decided to come out to Long Island to where we were rehearsing. And we're in the studio where Joe was the main engineer. And Joe gave me monitors behind me. He's like, Eric, since it's a small room, you want him to see you. So he put the wedges behind me. And we go into this song, and I started doing a Chuck Berry thing because I was cool. And I took 2 steps backward, boom, trying to impress the record guy right on my ass. Good one. Guys, as we talk, I realized there are just dozens of times I've blown it on stage. Yeah, what a great guy and bassist. And by the way, Rob Jack, another world-class bassist. But you guys want me to tell you what all great bass players have in common?
That. Oh, wait,
No.
Did I say that out loud?
You said that out loud. No. All great rock bass players from like our generation, they all love Geddy Lee. Like, I'm dead serious. Bill Spencer, Brett Rothfeld, Rob Jack, all the great bass players love Geddy Lee. Because that guy was that good. All the shitty drummers love Neil Peart. Oh boy. Now it's gonna start. Brian, your brother Brian made the greatest statement ever. Brian said, Neil Peart's a great drummer. He said, but think of how many shitty drummers he's created.
I wish I knew what you guys talked about because
Marcus, you're making everybody seasick. You got to sit in one place, buddy. But you are handsome. Hi, Marcus, do me a favor. You saw Geddy at the Beacon Theater? Cool. All right, Marcus, tell us, what is your favorite band?
That's a hard one.
Give us something from your generation. You're 10. Give us something give us something now.
I don't really like anything now.
What do you like?
All right, what do you like from before?
I might get a lot of hate for this, but I like Tears for Fears.
Well, I don't think
there.
And they're probably like, oh yeah, you're a Skibidi Toilet liker. Well, people are there's a lot of Skibidi Toilet haters. So.
Marcus, that's better than being a Skibidi Toilet licker.
Oh.
Just his face.
Can you slow down and say that? What is it? Scoobity?
Skibidi Toilet. See, Marcus, everybody knows who Tears for Fears are, who's watching right now, and nobody knows who Skibidi Toilet is.
Well, if you're
great choice, right, Lori?
If you're 10. Now let Marcus answer the question. I don't. Who's Skibidi Toilet, Marcus?
Tell us about Skibidi Toilet.
by a guy, and my friend Martin is watching us and will not stop texting me random words that I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
But tell us what Skibbity Toilet is.
A
Oh, so
show.
Marcus has a writer.
There's
Yeah.
are toilets with heads, and they're attacking cameraman, speaker man, and TV men, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And they're bad, and they keep getting upgraded, and so does the cameraman. And no one seems to die in the show, which Sheila just pointed out a few days ago.
All right. Whatever you're rustling on your microphone,
So
stop
it's
rustling.
a YouTube series, right? What do they come out every day or
Well, they used to. Now it's been like a week since the last episode, and I'm still waiting.
every
Mhm.
episode is like around a minute long. There's no dialogue. It's all animated, basically battle scenes for the most part between these
Yeah.
two factions. And the there's some subtext around like surveillance, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not the
But it's
big.
all the rage in that set. Marcus had made his own Halloween costume,
Do we have a picture of that anywhere? You have
Yeah.
that?
Speaker Man,
I mean,
and
honestly, I'm not the biggest fan anymore. I feel like it used to be funny, like it used to be like funny and stuff. Now it's just a straight on war. Like it used to be like a joke. Now it's kind of. It used to be a comedy. Now it's just straight on violent.
yeah,
Mhm.
kind of jumped the shark, right? It's
Okay,
what
hang on,
episode is it?
hang
Like
on.
60
No.
something?
Now let's talk about this jump the shark thing now.
Most of my friends still used to like Skibidi Toilet, and now they all hate it over the summer because over
All
the
right.
summer it went from a comedy to like all on battle where everyone's killing each other.
All right, hang on,
took
Marcus.
over, Eric.
Marcus is good at taking over. Marcus, give me a second, buddy. Let me host the Eric Miranda show for one moment. We can do a Marcus Miranda show soon if you'd like. But anyway, so this is how information. There's a thing that Ambrose Bierce said. Ambrose Bierce, the 19th century writer, he said, "There's something in a man's skin that will there's something in a man that will stick to him like a second skin. His opponents need only name it." And he used the example that Samuel Wilborn III was the third Samuel Wilborn, who was the deacon of the Church of England. And somebody referred to him as unctuous and oleaginous, and he was forever known as Soapy Sam. So that is an example of this. But there's kind of another example of this, and it is people say they're really jumping the shark. And the guy who wrote that episode of Happy Days resents it because it is the #1 rated episode of all time on Happy Days. Like it was that day. It was the #1 rated. And we say jump the shark like it's the worst episode ever. And if you look at the numbers, it's the greatest episode ever.
But I didn't think that's what jump the shark meant. I thought it meant
No,
everything after that point.
Oh,
was-
Yes,
really?
that was the last hurrah.
No,
The
no,
show
no.
sucked.
Right, but they kind of you really jumped the shark, meaning no, because when somebody does something really bad, they say, "Oh, you really jumped the shark," meaning it's gone on too long. So I think you guys
Seriously, that was a dumb episode, and I love that show.
Hey, Tony,
Eric, we used to be on the school bus, and we
hang on,
would do
we're
the
gonna- hey,
whole show together.
hang on, Tony
Susie
Sack. We're going to
Quattro.
do that in the next couple of weeks. I'll reach out to you,
Yeah.
Susie Quattro. No, but hang on, but jump the shark. Can we look it up? Look up what it means. Like I want to know
It
because
means when something jumped the shark, they used to be jumptheshark.com. When something jumped the shark, that means that's when the TV show went bad. So when the
Right,
Brady
that's
Bunch had that little kid, that extra little
right,
kid
no,
on there,
Oliver.
it
Oliver.
went
Oliver.
bad.
Hang on, but
Oliver,
so
Oliver, thank you.
you're agreeing with me though. So are you saying that was the jump the shark episode was good and everything was bad after it, or that was it was over?
No, that was the episode when it went bad.
Okay,
That
It's
that's
the
that was
beginning of the
It was
end.
right, and
the
that is,
beginning of the end.
right, and that the guy resents it because that was actually the climax. That was the best. Guys, I am gonna go jump a shark in my shorts if you keep it up.
Yeah. So Eric,
He
why
was-
don't
he
you
was
sing us
screaming.
out?
Sing you out? Okay.
Why don't you sing us out? You could do the acoustic version of the Eric Miranda show
I'm
as
gonna
an end.
I'm gonna have to do it with my glasses off or where
Oh, forget it. Don't do it.
Am I that silly? Okay. Really? I'm gonna do a ballad because I can't see. I
Good
used
night,
to
everybody.
drink a lot. Now I talk a lot. I'll keep me on my toes. I'll keep me on my toes. It's the Eric Miranda show. When I drank a lot, I would fight a lot. Hang on. I might punch me in my nose. I might punch me in my nose. It's the Eric Miranda show. Some people will tell me I am crazy. But if I listen closely, I'm unbelievable. Wah.
Unbelievable.
I used to drink a lot. Now I talk a lot. I'll keep me on my toes. It's the Eric Miranda show.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you all. You know,
Great seeing everybody
I'll
tonight.
let you know our
It was
ratings
a
were
fun
down.
show.
I was
watching us while being in the show.
all right, Marcus. We love you. We got to go. Good night.
Yep.
Hey, get to bed. It's late. Go to bed.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.